Do you see this here? These islands are the famous Falkland Islands, islands that have given much talk throughout their history, and the cause of one of the most headline-grabbing wars at the end of the 20th century. So, what happened? How did Argentina and the United Kingdom come to war? Where does all this conflict come from? Well, make yourself comfortable, and I'll tell you right now. Historians have done a very historian thing, which is not to agree on who discovered the Falklands. It seems that the first to visit them were the Spanish, however. The Spanish hardly paid much attention to them, since they caught out of hand and there was not much to scratch around. However, the ships evolved and the maritime routes too, and these islands, which at first were worthless, became very strategic islands. The first to inhabit them and build a fort were the French, but the Spanish Empire ended up recovering them, and later the United Kingdom will also claim them, arguing that they had discovered them 200 years before. And they set up a base there, but they are also expelled. In the War of Independence from Spain against France, the Cortes of Cádiz approve leaving the islands when Argentina becomes independent. So Argentina considers that the Malvinas are theirs and occupy them. However, the United Kingdom and the United States began to catch them. Some conflicts with English and American whalers made both countries reach an agreement to avoid conflicts about the Falklands. It was something like, you let me fish, and I recognize that all this is yours. In 1833, the English arrived there and throw out the Argentines. Things will remain calm for a few years, but as happens in Spain with Gibraltar, in Argentina, there was always that rumor that said that the Falklands were Argentine. So now we take a leap and we go to 1982. Argentina is in a dictatorship, and at that time the president was a soldier. Leopoldo Galtieri came to power promising to recover the Falklands. The country is not going through its best moment. And to divert attention a bit and for the people to relax, let this issue be alive, unleashing a great wave of patriotism throughout Argentina. Maybe you don't know it, but the fact is that Argentina decides to recover the islands by force, taking advantage of the fact that the United Kingdom is not going through its best moment either. In the United Kingdom, it is in Margaret Thatcher, who has the country turned upside down because of deindustrialization and the closure of English mines. The Argentine plan is to take the Falklands, the Georgias, and the South Sandwich Islands, taking advantage of a diplomatic conflict caused by some workers who raised the Argentine flag on the Georgia Islands. The Argentines go on the attack on March 28, 1982. The Argentine fleet leaves for the Falklands. United States intelligence knows it, and Ronald Reagan himself, President of the United States, tries unsuccessfully to stop the attack. The Argentines landed on April 2nd, successfully taking the island of Soledad, and on the 3rd, seizing the Georgias Islands, so everything went perfectly. There had been no deaths, and the English prisoners were sent home. All public opinion and all political parties were enthusiastic about the operation. Argentina supported him. Almost no one in Latin America. He could only count on Panama, Peru, and Venezuela. While internationally, only the Soviet Union offered him minimal support. The United States gave great logistical support, and the United Kingdom, Chile, and France provided them with intelligence services, and the European Economic Community imposed sanctions on Argentina. So the UK was not going to stand still and quickly organized a response. The British sent their warships to the area, including nuclear submarines and 2 aircraft carriers, as well as nearly 30,000 men. By establishing a no-fly zone, ended up being a total no-fly zone. This means they're going to destroy everything that looks Argentine in the area. The Argentine response was clear. They prepared for the defense, and the Argentine president shouted before a crowd, "If they want to come, let them come. We will fight them." On April 25th, the British fleet retook the South Georgia Islands. The first combats take place on May 1st, at which time the Argentine Air Force enters combat for the first time in its history. The English bombard the airport to prevent Argentina from supplying the troops on the islands. On May 2nd, an English nuclear submarine sank the cruise ship General Belgrano. 323 of its 1,093 crew died, making it the only ship in history sunk by a nuclear submarine during wartime. On May 4th, 1982, the Argentine Navy destroyed the destroyer HMS Field, while on May 10th, a frigate from the United Kingdom sank the Argentine transport Isla de los Estados. On May 21st, the English landed on the islands. Without much ground resistance, however, planes from the Argentine Navy and Air Force did attack a destroyer and 2 British frigates, injuring and killing dozens of sailors. Argentina lost 22 aircraft and 10 pilots in the operation. On the 25th of May, the Argentines scuttled the transport, SS Atlantic Conveyor, destroying cargo vital to the British land campaign. On May 30th, the Argentines attacked the aircraft carrier HMS Invincible, causing extensive damage. The English only had one option of victory, finishing the land campaign as soon as possible, since the casualties for the Royal Navy were being expensive, and the truth was that they had it relatively easy. The elite Argentine troops were on the border with Chile, from whom they feared an attack. In addition, the Argentine troops in the Malvinas were poorly armed and their combat capacity was not comparable to that of the English. Lastly, it should be mentioned that the great problem for the Argentine ground troops was winter, since the cold in that area is atrocious. And the Argentines were not properly equipped despite several heroic performances in combat. The Argentines surrendered on June 15th, while the last military action was carried out on the 20th, invading the southern Sandwich Islands, where there was an Argentine scientific base. The Argentines miscalculated the moment of the attack with the winter hitting hard and the resistance of the English, since they did not have much energy left and would have been forced to abandon the war in a short time. Argentine casualties were 649 men, 47 planes, and 6 ships destroyed, and the English ones were 255 dead, 34 planes, and 8 ships sunk. To both sides, we must add hundreds of suicides of soldiers after the war. The Malvinas conflict is still very hot, and Argentina continues to diplomatically claim that the Malvinas are Argentine. As a curiosity, comment that the Argentine Navy executed the Operation Algeciras, infiltrating 2 commandos in Algeciras, Spain, to destroy with explosives any British ships at the Gibraltar base. However, the local police arrested the Argentines, disrupting the operation. And now that you know all this, what do you think? Could Argentina have won this war? That's it. If you liked the video, you know that you can like and subscribe and share it.